Welcome to Cleaning Company Blueprint. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of people start their own cleaning companies. We're currently hosting a 21-day program on Zoom, and we're posting the recordings here live on YouTube. So if you want to follow along, subscribe and like the video.
Today, we have another guest speaker for us. So we have Angelica here, who's going to talk about reviews. So a little bit of background on Angelica. I met Angelica maybe a year ago, just online, and she's fabulous. She also owns a cleaning company with her husband outside of Toronto. And she is here to talk about the software called NiceJob, which is integrated now with ConvertLab. So if you would like to sign up for NiceJob, we figured the better person to speak about it would be Angelica herself. So over to Angelica.
Hello, everyone. So nice to see you all. My name is Angelica. I'm just going to actually share my screen so that I can make it easier for you guys to kind of see some stuff. Oh, no. Oh, I spelled my last name wrong.
Oh, you spelled your own last name wrong? That's hilarious.
Sorry, y'all.
We'll fix it in post.
Just in case you're wondering, it's like late at night tonight for me. So, and I've kicked my kids out, so it's going to be a fun time. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. My name is Angelica Cugini. I'm partner development manager at NiceJob. And as Vic mentioned, I'm also a cleaning service owner like most of you. So I can understand like the trials and tribulations that you might have gone through or might be going through as you're starting up your businesses. Fun fact, I'm actually a user of NiceJob also. Obviously, but I was well before I started working for NiceJob. So for me, when I sought out one of the things to help me grow my business, NiceJob was one of the things that helped me grow my reviews and essentially helped us exponentially grow also online because it helped us with our brand reputation and getting more leads from Google. But here, we'll jump in and explore. So, when you start your own business and when you're trying to figure out how to get more customers, that's probably the top thing that's on your mind, which is, where do I get my customers? Well, there's a couple of ways to do it. Paid advertising. So you can invest a lot of money into ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads. Those get really, really, really expensive. And to be honest, Slack, I hope you didn't see that. Those get really, really, really expensive and it's hard to track. But also if you don't have already an online reputation, it's almost not even useful because people aren't going to trust that you're there. Another way that you're going to want to look at getting more customers is content marketing. So email marketing, SEO, blogs. Again, all these things are so expensive. You can go to Fiverr and try to get someone to do your email marketing, but is it going to be effective if you don't have a reputation online? No. And then the next one is offline marketing. So like print ads, throwing events, doing direct sales, flyers or door hangers. Honestly, I don't knock door hangers because those could be very useful if you want to target a neighborhood, but it's still very expensive and hard to track. And it's not as easy to get them to do that call to action that you want them to do. And the last thing is word of mouth marketing or customer referrals. And that's where we kind of come in and help make it really easy for you guys to do. So in terms of like how to get more customers, there was an old way of thinking. So invest in advertising, tell everyone that you're the best, like get the company to like come up with great copy and say that you're the best at what you do. And then start with decisions that are, how will this make me the most money today? And then hope that you're going to get more customers. Well, the new way of thinking is instead of investing in advertising, invest in your customers and have them shout out the rooftops how amazing you are. Turn your customers into your biggest fans and have them tell others how amazing you are. And then instead of starting your decision with how am I going to make money today, start your decisions with, will my customers love this? so that they can become your advocates for your company and your products and your service. And then lastly, instead of hoping that you're going to get more customers, have every customer bring you at least one more customer. Imagine what if you're right now established as a company, imagine how where your company would be rather, if you had one more customer from every customer that you have right now. Imagine if you had one more customer, two more customers. Just like allow that to sink in for a second, because in theory, if you get reviews, every reviews should be bringing you at least one or two more sales if done correctly. So a little bit of stats. Everybody loves stats. So you can see that we've researched our information. I like to put this in the context of Amazon. So recently I purchased a hairdryer, and I'm going to use this as my example. 96% of customers value online reviews when selecting their service provider. Putting it into the Amazon hairdryer context, I'm not even going to look at a hairdryer unless I've checked off the 4-star rating on that reviews section on the side. It's not even going to be like nothing's going to have a chance unless it has a 4-star rating. 88% of customers trust reviews as much as their personal recommendations from their friends. So once I check off that ratings and I see which hair dryers are over there, I'm going to click and go through some of those reviews and see what they're saying. But I'll be honest, I'm going to go after what they're saying. But even if my friend told me about this hair dryer, I would trust them equally because I know that they're people that are looking for the same thing and I trust them. 87% of potential customers need a 3 to 5 star before even using a service provider. I think 3 to 5 stars is actually quite generous for my experience. I'm only going to look at 4 stars or up, especially when I'm on Amazon and checking for a hairdryer. 86% of customers will pay more. So this is something that actually really drove home for me, because once we started investing in our customer driven content and into our online reputation, we actually were able to charge more for our services. And it's interesting because people are willing to pay more for a service. Well, not even just more, what you're worth for your service if you have the proper reputation to back up your service. And if you don't have a reputation, it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, I'm worth this much money and I'm worth this hourly amount. And lastly, 40% of weight is an impacts on SEO. If you can get as many reviews as you can and get those reviews often, and also reply to those reviews. If you're not replying to reviews, you're missing out on a whole lot of SEO. You're actually going to be able to show up organically on Google, because it's going to help you get your rating up and have a visibility online. I urge you to, once you have your business started, or if you already have your business started, Google yourself in terms of what you serve, like what your service is, and then what location you serve, and see if you pop up in the Google Map 3-pack. If you show up in the Google Map 3-pack, then you're doing a great job. I encourage you to keep on doing that great job and not stop, because there's somebody out there that's going to knock you off of that Google Map 3-pack. But definitely keep trying to make that your goal, to stay in that area. And that's free. You don't have to pay for ads to be there. That's just you, based on how many reviews you get, how often you get those reviews, and you interacting with your customers. Just a little side note and hot tip. Oops. So how do you want to make this happen? Well, there's many ways that you can do it. You can have a sequence that you built on your own. You can follow up with your customers individually. You can, there's many ways to do it. But what we like to do is make it easy for everyone. So make it easy for you to ask, easy for your customers to leave those reviews, and easy for you to share those reviews so that you can get more customers from those reviews. And this is all automated with NiceJob and ConvertLabs, which is super easy and super fun to use. So making sure to ask and making it easy to ask. We like to say that we like to asks for a review at the moment of peak happiness. So in our case, as maid service owners or cleaning service owners, that's usually at the time that you've completed your job. And that is when people are like, wow, my house is clean. I can't wait to like hang out in it now. I got to tell everybody how amazing this cleaner is. And that's probably the right time to ask them because they're already like excited about it. Making sure you ask is the very first step to getting that review. But oftentimes people, there's two reasons why they won't leave that review. Number one reason, because they just simply forget. I don't know how many times I've been asked to leave a review. I just completely forget. And I know how important it is for businesses to get those reviews. I work for a review company. Obviously it's like something that I should be doing on a regular, but I still forget. And you want to make sure that you are following up with your customers. NiceJob has a great four-step review four-step review reminder that's customizable, but we have a we tested for success. So we suggest to have a text and then 3 follow-up emails within a 2-week period, just gently reminding them to leave a review, because our system has like a proprietary AI that's just like amazing, way above my head to understand exactly how it works. Anytime somebody actually leaves a review, they get kicked out of the campaign, so they don't get bombarded with extra review requests, and it doesn't turn that 5-star experience into a 3-star experience. And the other reason is because they just simply don't know where to leave that review. You could tell them, thank you, I'm so happy you're happy with my service. Please leave me a review. That person's going to be like, okay, but where? And then they're going to give up and not leave you that review at all. So having a link that directs them exactly where you want them to go, makes it super easy for them to leave that review, is super important, so that they don't have to think too much. You want to just like click, get there. And I strongly suggest Google, because that's where everybody's looking right now. And if you have another option, or if you want to give them another option, Facebook is pretty good too. Believe it or not, a lot of people are searching on Facebook, and they also pull those Facebook reviews into your Google business profile. So it's a good one to have. Lastly, what do you do with the reviews once you get them? Just stare at them and say, oh my God, I'm amazing? No, you want to use those reviews to get you more customers and essentially clone those happy customers into customers that are going to be just like those happy customers. I know as a cleaning business owners, there are many times when you're going to not want that customer because they're just too picky, or they just don't understand your service in particular, or they're just not a great fit for you. Unfortunately, sometimes those people are going to leave you those reviews. However, you're going to want to use those reviews to scare off any other people that are not going to like those kind of things, and also use those reviews to better your service. Having negative reviews are actually a great tool for you to improve your business. It also helps you identify little leaks in your systems and make sure that your customers are all happy. Most of the time when there's going to be a legitimate negative review, because we all have those crazies that just like are impossible to please. Once you have that legitimate negative review, it's due to not meeting their expectations. So if you set the expectations right away from the beginning and communicate those expectations, there should be no reason why you're going to get any negative reviews, because they're just going to be happy with what they've received. Anyways, that was a little tangent, but getting to the reason why we share these reviews, they're going to bring you more customers. And how do you share these reviews? It's great to share them on your social media. NiceJob automatically publishes those reviews as a social post on your Facebook page, LinkedIn page, Twitter page, just completely automatically, just like, here you go, here's a review and here's this post. And then we also have widgets that you can add onto your Convert Labs website. Those are just gold mines for people that are looking to get more customers. If you don't have your reviews on your website, you're already missing out on a lot of business, because reviews on your website brings trust even before they enter into your sales process. They know that they're going to have an experience with somebody that someone else has had an experience with, and that experience was positive. It's also going to build your online reputation, of course, and help you get more customers that are looking for the service that you provide. Oh, we're done. So I guess here we go. If you are looking to try out NiceJob with ConvertLabs, it works out completely automatically and it is amazing. Just scan this QR code and it'll bring you to our landing page. You can absolutely fiddle around and get a trial, or you can just, there's going to be some automated messages there that's going to ask you to book a meeting. Book that meeting, because once you book that meeting, you'll be able to apply this coupon code and also get a demo on the actual product itself, because it's a free trial. Though they can give it to you for 14 days, no problem. And you can get set up within that 14 days. Our team is amazing and they're just like, we'll figure out the best way to do it. But because most of you will likely have ConvertLabs, it'll be even easier. It'll just be a click of a button. So yeah, try it out. Make sure you connect with the team, because that's how we'll get you that coupon code. And I urge you to try to get more reviews in general, because reviews help bring your build your online reputation and get you seen in front of the customers. Thank you
That's
so
awesome.
much.
Thanks, Angelica. That was so great. Here, I'll share a screen to just show what it looks like in action. I think that'll probably help people. We've been using Oak Bay Clean as kind of a sample. So 2 ways to show you NiceJob in action. So first, you can see our website here and how we have reached out to the IT team at ConvertLabs to help us with this. So feel free to do the same if you need help with the widget. But you'll see, so you'll scroll down here and there we go. Boom. Look at that. And NiceJob is smart enough that they don't put the 1 stars right away. So I don't know how they know that, but they're smart.
Well, we only share 4 stars and up, and that's set up by default. You can change it to 5 stars and up, or like only 5 stars rather. But yeah, they don't share anything that's under 4 stars.
Really smart. And then if we go to Google and we look up our company, this is where, you know, if people look at how many reviews we have 108 here on Google. We're less, you know, we're just over 2 years old. So reaching 100 reviews is kind of a big deal for any small business, but it definitely helps us to come up higher as a result. So, and I just want to reiterate what Angelica said about 1-star reviews. Like, you can't please everybody, but it really does come down to your customer service team. I quoted you, Angelica, in the chat, and I said, set the expectations right from the beginning, then meet those expectations. Yes. So sometimes, and that's why for Jen and I, we don't use deep clean. We only say first time clean, because that helps, because that changes the perception of, you know, because what is a deep clean? Like, it's so vague and everybody has a different interpretation of what it is. So there we go. All right. Hey, are there any tips on how to use NiceJob to get the first job, or is this a system that you have in place once we get the first job?
Great question. So I would suggest, and I'm being completely honest as a salesperson here, wait until you have a couple of customers, because you don't want to implement something like this right away, because it is an expense that you might not need immediately. But once you do have, I'd say probably 20 customers, that's when it's going to actually start to make sense, because you're going to automate that review process from there. In order for you to get those reviews right away from your customers that you have and you just started out, I suggest actually asking them right away and then sending them an email afterwards as well, because it's like planting the seed. They know that they see your face, and then they're going to get reminded once you send them that email. If at all possible, follow up as well.
I'm going to add on to that Kevin has mentioned that within ConvertLabs, and I'll ask you to unmute here, Kevin, so you can speak to it. But within ConvertLabs, we have an internal way to ask for reviews from our clients. So Kevin, if you want to, I don't know if you can pull up that.
Oh, you want me to show you guys? Well, it's under notifications. So the review system inside of ConvertLabs does not ask for reviews on external platforms. So it's not going to ask you to leave a review on Yelp or anything like that, unless you modify that email. But what it does by default is after a booking is completed, it will send the customer an email to basically rate their experience from 1 to 5 stars. in the email. They click on that, and then that goes into the system, and that will also be sent to the team. So the team will have an average rating of all of their reviews, and then the customer will have their happiness rating, which is an average of all of their reviews. But again, that's just internal. It's not for getting reviews on Google or anything like that.
So that's a really good system to implement at the very beginning, because it's easy. You just tick the little box saying, yep, notify them. I want to know, is it a 5-star experience? When you hit charge card, immediately they get asked, how was your experience today? And it doesn't go to the outside world. So that's very important in the beginning when you're fine tuning your systems. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to make some people really upset. And we don't necessarily want to say, hey, let's put this out to the universe. We want to keep it internally in the beginning. Then, like Angelica said, you've got a nice flow of customers coming in. That's when you start saying, and you're confident in your teams, you start saying, hey, would you put this out on Google, Yelp, Facebook, etc. Speaking of which, you didn't mention Yelp. I will point out Angelica is in Canada, and we've said this a number of times in this group. Yelp isn't really a thing for Canadians except for restaurants, but Angelica, can you speak to Yelp for majority of our audience here who are Americans?
So Yelp actually has an agreement that you cannot solicit reviews with them. So it's very difficult to actually ask for reviews for Yelp because there's no way to actually do it ethically and organically. I mean, not organically. You can only do it organically. So we don't suggest asking for reviews on Yelp. Also, Yelp is not as important as Google. People aren't really searching on Yelp. They're searching on Google. So stick to Google.
Yeah. We use Yelp to get on Google.
And one quick thing about Yelp too, so about that solicitation part. So Yelp will actually track where that user came from that left a review. So if you send your users an email or a text message with a link to your Yelp page, your profile, Yelp will know that, and it'll almost always be flagged. Yelp will track things, and if you have a really good friend, you could ask them to go on Yelp, search for house cleaning, find your company, and click on your website, and then in like 3 days, leave you a review. Yelp is literally tracking all of those things, and they know, okay, this person actually searched, they looked, organically, and they left a review. So, but again, if they have like 0 reviews on their profile, then it's going to look like a fake review. So.
All right, we got another question from Alexis.
Hi, I actually have 2 questions. So I love that you all mentioned like the Convert Labs automatically has the request for people to send reviews directly to you and the team before sending it to Google, especially for me because like I'm just getting off the ground and starting. So I'm wondering at what point in each of you all's cleaning business did you transition to asking them for Google reviews? Like, was it a few months in, or were there certain like landmarks, like, okay, once we have a certain threshold of 5-star reviews, we feel comfortable? And then also, even if those reviews are being sent to you, is it possible to filter on Convert Labs to like at least display on our site just the 5-star reviews?
So not currently. There's not a way to do that. There is some things that you could do where you could show some reviews, but that'll be like hard coded in. We don't have a widget for that, although that's a pretty good idea.
But Angelica said if the widget that's on Convert Labs on the website, they've already filtered it. So it's only the 4 and 5 stars that go if you're using it on the website.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. For the NiceJob widget. Yeah.
And then to speak to when should you ask for Google reviews or any reviews? Like, so there's the internal system that we talked about, and then the external system, which is NiceJob, or you go out on your own, just asking them to write you a review on whatever you want them to write it on. Don't do it for Yelp. But if you do the external one where you're going to Google, Facebook, all those places, my short answer to that would be as soon as you have a happy customer. So if today you take your first booking, you send your first cleaner out, and you send the internal review to the client saying, hey, how'd they do? And they come back with 5 stars, then you're like, awesome, thanks so much. Would you mind putting something on Google? We're really, we're a local business. We would really love your support, whatever. And a lot of people do that by hand. They put in a snippet into OpenPhone, and they just, as soon as somebody says they're happy, ask them for a review. But here's the problem with it is that you're human and you're going to forget. and your customers are human and they're going to forget. So once you have enough going, like Angelica said, about 20 or more, then you want the automations to kick in. Does that make sense, Alexis? Did that help?
Yeah, I was muted again. Yes, that does make sense. I feel like Kevin was gonna say something else, but I also have one more question. I know you all have mentioned, sometimes you go back to a reclean, like if customers aren't satisfied. Do you all start those as early as the very beginning? So like from day one, or do you have a certain threshold or like cash in the bank that you can draw from before you start offering to do reclean for less than satisfied customers?
So I'm a big fan of, especially in the beginning, as part of your systems, when a cleaning is done and your teams have left, try to give the customer a call and not rely on, any automated systems, just to understand how it went. Because one thing that you really want to do is prevent negative reviews when you have so few reviews. So, if for something that, that maybe the team forgot something and, the client's just catching it, or, whatever it is, I like to be able to go out and make it right, because I don't want that customer to leave me a 1, 2, or 3-star review, and risk that, because that's going to hurt you. It's going to make your marketing a little bit more expensive because you don't have as great of reviews. So I'm a fan of calling all customers in the beginning, and if you can, just keep doing that after their bookings are done, their services are done.
So we actually call every customer still after their initial clean and make sure that they are happy. We also offer a 24-hour guarantee. If they're not happy, then we'll come back and fix it. But it's very important to touch base with that customer because it's their first time with you, and you want to make a good impression and make sure that they feel like they're cared for. So don't stop calling them, especially on their first visit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great practice. We did that in the beginning for sure. So Angelica, actually, I have a question for you. You mentioned for the SEO piece, because this was the thing that really, that Jen and I both witnessed when we installed NiceJob, because we were a little resistant. I think it's $79 a month. Is that right, Angelica?
75.
Yeah.
And
75.
then send off the first 3 months for Convert Labs people.
There you go. So, and I think we signed up for one of those, but we were a bit like, especially in the beginning, because, every dollar counts. But what happened for us is once we actually, we installed it probably Jen, when did we do it? A year in? Here, I'll ask her to unmute. I think we did it about a year in.
Yeah, I think we were like, it was maybe a year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
We
a
should
year
have
in.
done it earlier, for sure.
Totally. Totally. We should
But I
have done
don't
it
think we
6
knew
months
about
in. I don't even, it's funny. I don't think it was integrated in Convert Labs at that time, but I think I discovered it somehow. Anyway, but my point is just that once we installed it and we let it work its magic, and we focused on our teams first and foremost so that they were the best that they could be, right? And that's always our messaging, is make sure you're going for the best cleaners, you're pricing everything for the best cleaners, that way you're getting the higher level clients, and everything becomes easier rather than the race to the bottom, which is harder. So by focusing on that, but then the second part of that is that once we installed it, all of a sudden these reviews start coming in, and it's like, I don't know if I can explain the emotional impact of getting a 5-star review every day, you guys, but like, it's the best thing ever. And Angelica, like we're probably getting 13 a month right now.
No, we're not that high, Vic.
No, we are. We
5
are.
stars?
Well, reviews. Some of them are 1 or 2, but
Okay.
whatever. And I always laugh because I'm always like, I love our 1-star reviews. But you mentioned something about SEO and the keywords. And my question is, when I reply to the people, because we do respond to every single review and we do it in human voice. That's one thing I notice on other cleaning sites. They use ChatGPT to write their responses, and it's so obviously a robot that it's just so wrong. So we handwrite them. How do I improve our SEO in my reply to them? Does that matter? Or because I usually just say, thanks so much. Really appreciate you. Like, should I be saying, thanks so much, we can send cleaners to your house to do the cleaning services, to improve the quality of cleaning, yada, yada.
So there's a bunch of aspects that actually go into those Google reviews. And when you reply to those reviews and say, thank you so much, that's where it will likely end, because it's just not like going further.
Yeah.
But if you this is a little trade secret. If you add maybe like the town that you service, or like the actual service that you offer, it can actually
Clean
pick
up, move in,
these
move
words
out.
up.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
That's really good. I knew there was a trade secret there.
It's just
Thank
like
you,
Amy's
Angelica.
Angels, right?
Amy's Angels does do that. I have noticed that she does that in LA, but I was like, how do you say this so it sounds organic and not, but you're right, the city name and then the type of cleaning service.
Yeah.
Easy.
And in NiceJob, I'm not sure how you can do it in any other platform, to be honest, but in NiceJob, you can actually geotag the actual review. So it will help you get seen even more on Google within that location.
Is that something I manually have to do or just NiceJob just does it? I have to do it.
Yeah, that's a manual right now.
Okay.
Very
I should book
difficult to
I
get
feel like I
code.
should book a call with one of you guys. Okay, so hang on. And then I also wanted to talk about, you have this amazing integration now where people can send gifts. Can you
Yes.
speak to that?
Yes. So that integration is brand new. And once you can actually have information get pulled from your customers to either send them a gift on their like fifth visit, or if they were actually working on actually creating it so that once they've referred you somebody, they can actually do that. But that's one thing I actually did not mention in our system. Once you do get a review, we actually think it's the most optimal time to ask them for a referral too. So even though, like, even if you didn't use NiceJob, it's great to thank your customer for a review. We'll just do it automatically and ask them for a referral for their friends too. They're telling strangers how amazing you are, might as well tell their friends and family too.
The internal CRM system inside Convert Labs keeps track of how many times clients get cleaning, etc. So will we always know first-time clients? Yes. Any other strategies with client insights that are best practices?
I like to see if there's a way to do like a quality check after every 5 cleans. That's like the standard. And in that case, you also can call them and be like, oh, what's up? How's it going? And then you can get potentially a review that way as well, especially if you're just starting up. I'm sure there's ways to automate that in other ways. And if you have tools like Zapier and Slack and all the other tech stacks in the world, you can probably figure out a way to do that. But try to keep track and ask them how they're doing, because they'll be happy to hear from you, especially if they're a longtime customer.
Oh, so
Yeah,
Troy,
and
if a
any-
routine client hasn't booked in a couple months, would you reach out to them or get notifications of that inside Convert Labs? You would reach out to them. That's like part of your marketing, or it should be.
Yeah, so like as just part of like could be your daily tasks is to basically look at, okay, what bookings did we do, 30 days ago? And then just like literally give them a call because it's been 30 days and they probably need another service. And then you can look at, customers from 2 months ago or 3 months ago, just do that every single day. It's a little bit manual work, but when you're actually giving them a call, in the beginning, it's, pretty high ROI.
And when you take those calls, it also helps you understand what your customers want.
Yeah.
Which, especially when you're starting out, you'll get a better idea of like what kind of service you should be offering in that area, because a lot of people are not really interested in a deep clean or a move out clean or whatever cleans that you offer.
Yeah, totally. Tomorrow, everybody. So I apologize first off for letting the calls go too long. That's happened a couple times, and that's totally on me. I should have been better at making sure we finished by 6. So I apologize for that. But tomorrow we're gonna do kind of a Q&A, like an Ask Me Anything. So I know Jen is ready to share the spreadsheet, right, Jen?
Yes.
Her favorite
Not
thing,
like
public
a big
speaking.
deal. It's not a big deal. But yeah, we'll go over our spreadsheet.
You guys will all laugh because this
You'll be
is
like,
like
wow,
how an
really
artist
low tech.
does.
It's so
a
low
spreadsheet.
tech.
And anybody who's good at spreadsheets, can you please pipe up and help us? That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment or a question below. And most importantly, go to cleaningcompanyblueprint.com if you're ready to join us in starting your own cleaning company.